Module 14, Understanding the Intent of the Ironclad Parenting Plan Framework. Hello and welcome back. Parenting time schedules, transitions and exchanges, decision-making authority, communication between parents, conflict resolution processes, holidays and special occasions, travel considerations, financial coordination, the role of third parties, and the developmental changes that occur as children grow. Each of these topics addresses a specific part of the co-parenting structure. But at this stage of the course, it is helpful to step back and ask a more important question. What is the intent of this framework? The purpose of the Ironclad Parenting Plan Framework is not to create a perfect document, and it is not to provide legal advice. The intent is to help parents understand how parenting plans function as systems. A parenting plan is essentially a coordination structure for two households that share responsibility for a child. That structure attempts to answer several practical questions. Where will the child be? How will important decisions be handled? How will parents communicate? What happens when disagreements arise? How are special occasions handled? How do logistics, such as exchanges and transportation, work in everyday life? When these questions are addressed clearly, parenting plans tend to function more smoothly. But when these questions are vague or incomplete, the same disputes often appear repeatedly over time. This is why the framework focuses on structure rather than outcomes. Instead of telling parents what their agreement should be, the framework helps parents examine the structural elements that parenting plans often need to address. When people begin thinking about parenting plans as systems rather than simply documents, something important happens. They begin noticing where ambiguity exists. They recognize where expectations may not be clearly defined. And they start understanding why certain types of disputes repeat in co-parenting situations. The goal of this course is to provide a structured way of examining those issues, not to replace legal guidance, and not to determine what any specific agreement should contain, but to help parents think more clearly about the coordination required when a child lives across two households. Before moving on to the next module, take a moment to reflect on everything we have discussed so far. When you look at parenting time, decision-making, communication, logistics, and conflict resolution together, do those pieces appear clearly defined in your situation? Or are there areas where uncertainty may still exist? In the next module, we will bring the entire framework together and explore how these elements can be reviewed as a complete parenting plan structure. See you in the next and final module.